key when LeBron is targeting you on defense, like you did in those last few possessions or last few minutes. How do you think you did respond to that, and what do you want to do kind of better in those situations in your career?
Me. Just stick to the game plan. Switch 1 through 4. Gotta switch. Sit down and guard. I mean, he the best player to play this game, so that's what you look for. Be physical, stay on the body, just force him into tough shots. Of course, got to go back and watch the film, but as far as the compete part, I think I did, a good enough job competing. But obviously, there's different tactics and different things you could do better. But just honestly, in those situations, just got to force them into a tough shot every single time.
Will said that they kind of talked about it at a timeout and decided, hey, maybe we do something different or double or whatever, and they just said, no, we want Keyonte in those situations because this is going to be part of his development. This will make him a better defender on switches in the playoffs in the future and so on. When you hear that, does that make you kind of grateful that they give you those kind of opportunities to, guard the best player in the world?
I'm grateful for, honestly, everything that he throws in front of me, but, to this particular situation, definitely am grateful for that. Obviously down the line or whenever that time comes, we get into the playoffs and play meaningful basketball, I think, I'm going to be ready for that, knowing okay, trying to pick on the matchup. Let's maybe pre-switch. Okay, I know. Just honestly be able to look back at the film and later on down the road, like you said, I'll be prepared. We played a great game. And me in those moments, I just got to, like I said, sit down and guard. I think these stretch of games, I've took a jump on that side of the ball, been trying to really focus in on that and compete on that side of the ball. And this is another opportunity for me to show that I can, guard these best players. But at the end of the day, it's a collective effort. And I know my guys had my back in that situation, but obviously getting that experience for basically the first time, like you said, I'm grateful for it.
What did you guys do to get back into the game, especially, down the stretch it was 97-90, kind of looking a little bleak, and, what were you guys able to do to get back to make that a possession game down the stretch?
I think just playing with Walker was the best thing for us. Pick and roll. Obviously, Larry kind of had it going today. Just taking the right shots at the right time. Defensively, I think we continue to compete every single possession down the floor. Obviously, down the stretch, we gave up 3 offensive rebounds, but, we still stayed with it. Continue to have conversations down the stretch with each other. All 5 were on the same page at all times. So I think that's what got us back in the game. We didn't let their runs affect us like it would have been earlier in the season. So I think we've took a jump in that department as well. Just having conversations, knowing the schemes, knowing what to do in certain situations. And tonight, down the stretch, we continue to execute, get the right shots, and ultimately the main thing is just compete. We've been competing, balls to the wall every single night since Will has been on us. So I think we just got to continue to compete. That's the main message between all 13, 14 of us, and staying together in moments like that.
Keyonte, what's the biggest thing you notice between playing in games where there's maybe larger leads between whether it's you guys or a different team versus tonight where it's every quarter it's so close? What's the difference of playing in games like that?
Honestly, there's no lead is safe in the NBA, especially with how many threes are being taken now. But it's just attention to details, knowing what we want to run, making sure we know what Will wants to run and executing that. and defensively being on the same page. So I think it's just attention to detail. Obviously, when you're up big and you want to continue to grow that lead, but I think in moments like we had today, the attention to detail you got to be sharp. I mean, you watch the playoffs, every possession matters. You watch, these games that come down to the wire. One little thing can, basically lose you the game almost. So I would just say the attention to detail is probably the main thing when it comes from being up 20 or, having a close game like tonight.
Yeah, so we've talked before about how when you first get to the league, there's not a lot of time to celebrate because like everyone's playing for their position, you're playing for the next contract, you're playing, for your spot in the NBA at that point. I don't want to make this sound weird, but like, do you feel like it's unfair at all that as you're playing for like that next contract, that you're doing it like kind of out of your most familiar position?
At the end of the day, the organization is who pays you. So you gotta kind of block out the outside noise and really lock into what the head coach wants and what the higher ups want. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they're the ones that's gonna pay you. If in their eyes, if they think you competing and playing your role the right way, then the blessing is gonna come. No matter what anybody says, or you got to make more shots, quit turning the ball over, you got to rebound more, you got to be aggressive. At the end of the day, if I'm doing what the coach wants, then I'm setting myself up for success. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's unfair. I would just say you got to really lock into not only what the team needs you to do, but what the coach is telling you to do. So I mean, that's how I would attack it. Continue to have conversations with Will and what he thinks, stay in the film, talk to my player development guy, because at the end of the day, like I said, they're the ones that's watching your development. So, like I said, I wouldn't say it's unfair, but at the same time, you continue to, there's 60 new people coming in every single year, so you got to continue to stay on your toes and be professional. And these vets have been, really teaching me the game when it comes to that piece, when it comes to NBA. Because at the end of the day, the 48 is really easy. It's all the other things, being professional, showing up on time, getting your extra work in, just things like that, being consistent. That's the message that's been given to me, just being consistent and trusting, what the organization wants you to do and what they want you to be and become. So I've been attacking that head on, and I'm just trying to be the best player I can be for myself, but also be the best player for this team and the organization.
I guess kind of with that stuff in mind or on the same subject, do you think too much is being made out of you being new to the point guard position? Or do you think that it's fair, like, you're having to learn a new position?
I mean, I'm a professional athlete, so I got to be able to adjust on the fly. Obviously, you all know I've played, a different position leading up to this. But at the end of the day, I think that if you can be versatile and do different things, it makes you more effective. If you can start the game off getting everybody involved and then switch your mindset to be aggressive, and I think it kind of makes you a special player almost. Guys who are one-dimensional,